Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you saw the video I made on Meghan Markle's video that she did with Variety magazine yesterday, and I was looking through the comments, and one of them in particular, it gave me a lot of food for thought.
Tamales, gormasabzi, larb, matzo ball soup, adobo.
The neighbour's back again, having a little look around. My first guest. Oh, he's gone. Anyway, as I say, I came across this comment which has made me rethink everything about the channel, frankly. Meghan Markle knows from experience that she is going to be picked apart and viciously scrutinized by gangs of people in public arenas around the world. It must be something similar to experiencing shell shock, like in the relentless onslaught of brutal battle, day in and day out. She is, in fact, a lovely person of intelligence.
I play a mean game of Scrabble.
Who has a good heart, with an independent spirit. Apparently, the world has adopted the evil attitude of the mob mentality, whose only trick in their bag is distracting people by attacking someone who cannot begin to defend against such huge numbers of people and groups. This is a nasty little petty phenomenon that can occur when you need ratings and numbers to survive or make your money, where you just go along with whatever is popular on the net at the moment in order to just get yours. It's cruel and tasteless to viciously attack people so wantonly and brutally without real definite cause. May God forgive such individuals for their weak characters. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest of the interview. Unfortunately, this is all written, this interview, so I'll do what I can to make it not shit. Question 1, let's go for it. The world has been mourning the loss of Queen Elizabeth. How has this time been? Now, bear in mind, you're Meghan Markle. How would you answer this question? Why, like a human being, of course, right? So how has this time been? Well, there's been such an outpouring of love and support. I'm really grateful that I was able to be with my husband and to support him, especially during that time. Okay, so far that's kind of like a normal, very diplomatic answer. What's so beautiful is to look at the legacy that his grandmother was able to leave on so many fronts. Okay. Certainly, in terms of female leadership. Oh my God.
Well, she's crazy.
Dragon lady.
Sluts.
B-I-T-C-H. The D word, a diva. So aggressive.
Can nothing just not be about tropes surrounding women? After Philip died, did everyone start calling her a thornback? Certainly, in terms of female leadership, she is the most shining, or shiniest, example of what that looks like. Sorry, I am an English teacher. I feel deep gratitude to have been able to spend the time with her that I did and get to know her. It's been a complicated time, but my husband, ever the optimist, said, now she is reunited with her husband. That's a thing humans say, isn't it? When your grandma dies, now she is reunited with her husband. I think the Terminator might say it like that. Your foster parents are dead.
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can never do.
Moving on. How have you processed this loss as a family? Well, in big moments in life, you get a lot of perspective. She's always getting lots of perspective from things, isn't she? Which is good, which is nice. It makes you wonder what you want to focus your energy on. Oh, now his grandma's dead. What should we focus our energy on? Right now, we feel energized and excited about all of the things we've been building towards. We're also focused on our foundation. So much of the work we do includes the philanthropic space. You know, the space. It's outside where they put the rubbish out. You know, when you put the bins out, there's a space. It's the philanthropic space. Philanthropic space. It's next to the recycling bins. Now, here's an interesting question. You've done 2 major interviews since returning to America. One with Oprah Winfrey and the other with New York Magazine, which some found to be snarky. Downright snarky, that interview in the cut. What has it been like to open up about your life now? What's it been like, Meghan? The New York story was intended to support Archetypes, right? And focus on our projects. I've had some time to reflect on it. Part of me is just really trusting, really open. And that's just how I move in the world. I know what she means, those people who move in the world really open and trusting. They move in the world that way. You see them walking down the street and they're just all open and trusting. They've got like a theme tune playing behind them. Boom ba boom boom ba boom boom ba boom 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 boom. See, that's Meghan. You see, she's not scheming in any way. She's really open and trusting, and just assumes the best of everyone. I guess that's just the way she's wired, dude. Anyway, the next prophetic sentence from Meghan is really something. You can see it on screen there, and it's another nugget of wisdom. Another manna falling from the sky. That we should be all very grateful for, right? I have to remember that I don't ever want to become so jaded that piece of me goes away. I often think that I'm so trusting and open. I'm just walking down the street, all trusting and open. That's how I move in the world. And I'm always thinking at the back of my mind, I have to remind myself that I don't ever want to become so jaded that piece of me goes away. I'm just so, I'm jaded. Of all the people, being nasty to me, I just want to be all open and trusting. That's how I move in the world, right? And I guess, I don't know if I'm explaining myself. I move in the world that way. That's how I move. I'm trusting and open, and I move around like a trusting and open person. And I don't ever want to become so jaded. I'm a bit jaded. I don't want to become so jaded that piece of me goes away. I don't want it to go anywhere. I could get too jaded. So despite any of those things, she says, despite any of those things, onward, I can survive it. So despite any of the possibility of becoming too jaded, which would stop her moving in the world in an open and trusting way, despite all of those possibilities, despite all of those things, onward, she can survive it. So that's good to know.
Because I think once you turn meaningful conversation into action, game changer.
So haters, believe at your peril that Meghan is about to get jaded from all of this. She's not. She can survive it. Part of what I'm doing with Archetypes is looking at the nuances. Yes, very nuanced, a lot of nuance. She's looking at the nuances around the women who come on the show. I'm not a journalist, she says. I mean, a lot of people have been saying, are you a journalist? Are you a professional interviewer? Well, she's not. Believe it or not, she says, I'm not a professional journalist, but I want a candid, real conversation with them. Well, it's seamless. I thought simultaneously that she was a journalist and that those conversations were completely scripted. But no, they are candid, spontaneous, real conversations. Well, that's amazing. You sure fooled me, Meghan. Those are real, spontaneous, candid conversations. And yet at the same time, it seems like every single question and answer is being read from a meticulous script. Truly astonishing. I'm talking to some really textured, colourful, layered, dynamic women. Makes them sound like food. Textured, colourful, layered, dynamic women with strong histories. And that comes with a lot of pieces that you can choose to include or not. I choose to include something that I feel is fair to them and also uplifting, and something we can all learn from.
Sounds interesting.
Basically, for those of you who haven't bothered to watch an episode of Archetypes yet, I'll explain. It's a 45-minute podcast, more or less, of which about 20 minutes of each episode is a conversation with the guest. So there's only time for them, within that heavily scripted conversation, for them to tell like 2 or 3 anecdotes about themselves, and it's surrounding the word of the day, which might be bimbo or singleton or dragon lady or slut or something like that. And then at the end of the podcast, she asks them to describe themselves in 3 words. It's the most reductive, shallow, insulting thing to women that I think I've ever seen. And that's not me just blindly attacking Meghan. I'm not saying she's doing that even intentionally. I think she just might be a bit shallow. Not a very deep thinker. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, this is quite a long interview, so I'm going to pick out a couple of questions that I liked. Here's a good one. Is it odd as an actor to know that other actors will probably play you in the future? And her answer to this is, it's pretty good. I haven't given that much thought, to be honest. It's all weird. You have to compartmentalise. Anyone talking about me or casting an actor to play me, that will be a caricature of me that has been created for a business that makes people a lot of money. It's like she knows that they're going to paint her in a bad light. Don't believe it. No, Meghan, it hasn't happened yet. It's hypothetically, you know, if somebody does make a... No! It's a caricature. Lies! All lies! Once you can separate that out, it's much easier to go, okay, that actually has nothing to do with me. It doesn't exist, Meghan. It hasn't happened. Time will tell. It genuinely doesn't. It's a hard lesson to come to grips with. Yeah, about your future biopic that hasn't been made. Yeah, it's hard to get to grips with that, I guess, seeing as it's not a real thing. What's one piece of advice you'd give an actor 100 years from now who is cast as Meghan? I hope that in preparing for that role, she finds the softness and the playfulness. And the laughter, the silliness. Just hope she finds the dimensions. Also, she can call me. You'll be 142 years old, Meghan. She can call me. Anyway, the interview ends with them talking about their work life, whatever, them working on their Netflix stuff and whatever. I don't know how Harry's involved in any of this, but I guess with the documentary that's going to come out on Netflix next year, where they trash his entire dead family. I guess he's involved in that in some way, the moron. But anyway, the final question is strange, but not as strange as the answer. Who takes the most snack breaks? It's funny. People sometimes think we live in Los Angeles. That is funny! We're a good 2 hours outside of it. We're commuters. We drove down recently for a day of back-to-back meetings equipped with chocolate chip cookies the size of my toddler's head. Also, my husband's favorite is In-N-Out. I don't know why I'm being horrible about this. Just the ending is amazing, though. There's one at the halfway point between LA and our neck of the woods. It's really fun to go through the drive-thru and surprise them. They know our order. Oh, God, it's them again. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking it. Oh, God. I'll have to pretend to be surprised. Those minimum wage workers, as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex come through the drive-thru. Oh, for fuck's sake. Not again. Hi, can I take your order? I think you know our order by now. Fuck my life. Have you got this far into the video and you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, liked the video and shared the video all over your social media, you know, send it to everyone that you know, put it on your Instagram. No, that's no good. That's not good for sharing videos. Twitter, Facebook. Remember Facebook? That's still a thing. And anything else, you know, it's all good. Anyway, I need that to happen. I'm gonna keep selflessly working away, making these videos. And yeah, well, you could help me to do more of them, and it could just, you know, I could quit my day job. Imagine that. Imagine how much the quality in these videos would just through the roof. Game changer. See you in the next one.